What's up, you guys? It's KJ, and I am back. I know you guys been like, I know you guys like, where you been, girl? Busy bee. But I did take a look at the Real Housewives of Atlanta for last week. I just did not make a review because it was really kind of boring to me, y'all. Seriously. But I'm back here today, and I'm going to do just a quick what I got to say about last week, and then we're going to go ahead and get into this week. So basically with, I don't know, I feel like it's some hair in my face. So basically, anyway, so we first started out with where we left off for last week, right? So last week, basically, it was boring, but all in all, we got to see two things. We got to see who was the mature ones in the group, the ones that were really kind of ready to put things aside, the ones that were, you know, able to have an actual conversation. And then we got to see the people who just, you know, just not willing to get past anything, very childish, just not, you know, we got to see these actual people's personalities to me. And just who was really willing to put in the work and actually be adult about this situation. Like they always use a grown woman. So we was really able to see that last week. I think that Nene walking out was a benefit to the situation because I don't think they would have gotten anything done. I think this is a clear sign of why Nene needs to not be on this show. So for all of the people who are watching this show, y'all should probably take heed. Oh, sorry, not necessarily watching, but the people who are actually in control, y'all should probably see that she is, you know, what they call her, the cancer of the group, so to speak. I hate using that word, but it's like she's just so negative, and it was clear that she was not, you know, she was going to be basically the problem in the situation, because when she left, there was no problem. Even Portia stayed, you know what I mean? Even Portia stayed. Portia did kind of speak her mind a little bit as far as what was going on her end, but you know, all in all, it was kind of just like, I don't really think they resolved anything, but then again, you know, I think they did get past some things, but there was no like real resolution. It was kind of just like, I'm gonna try very hard to be as cordial as I possibly can be with these ladies. Alright, so then we move on to this week. This week was a much better episode, you guys. The ladies are getting ready to go on their trip to the Philippines, somewhere I really would never want to go personally, but this is where they choose to go for this season, whatever. So they go into the Philippines. Everybody's arriving to the airport. They get ready to go, and everybody seems to be pretty happy and, you know, ready to kind of have a good time. Nene is not going because of whatever reason, but like I said, we are happy to see it. I'm glad she's not going. I just feel like when they said that in the beginning, I just knew that it was going to be a better trip to begin with. So Nene's not going, and Phaedra is going. Everybody else is going except Nene. Even Demetria is there. Why Demetria is there, I'm not really sure, but she's there. She represents. Alright, so they on the plane or whatnot, and they just talking to, you know, just like kind of like little footage with the flight, because, you know, it's like a 18 hours, something like that flight. So they kind of just showing a little footage about the flight and cracking jokes about Portia's luggage and this, that, and everything, you know, all that stuff. Say Portia brought a lot of luggage or whatever. Alright, so Nene basically just practicing for Broadway throughout the whole episode, so we're not going to really even talk about her much, but she's practicing for Broadway throughout the episode, you know, just getting herself together, and they go out to New York, and she's just getting prepared to do this Broadway situation throughout the entire episode. So that's pretty much it with what Nene got going on. So they get to the Philippines or whatever. They arrive, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning when they get there. Claudia actually gives Phaedra the biggest room because she was like, you know, Phaedra has been going through a lot, so she gets the biggest room, and then, you know, they go from there with choosing the rooms, picking the rooms or whatever. And I thought that was really nice of Claudia. And I feel like Claudia is so, like, she is just classy to me. I ain't gonna even say classy because she can be raunchy, but I like Claudia. I really, really am liking Claudia and Candy right now. These are like my two favorites so far this season. Even though this is Claudia's first season and she kind of don't really have a whole storyline like I have said before, but I like Claudia. I just like what she bringing to the show. I like the dynamic she bringing. It's so different from what anybody else has ever brought to the show. So I'm just really liking Claudia right now and what she bringing to the show. Anyway, so they get settled in. Like I said, they square out the rooms or whatnot, and just like I said, Claudia's give Portia the best room. And they're nice. It's some really, really nice rooms. It look really zen and comfortable. This is really, really nice setup, y'all. And I really think that Claudia put a lot of time and effort into picking this spot or whatever. I don't know who. It could have been Bravo, but it was really nice. Like, and so this is like the first night. It's like no alcohol and it's all vegan. So they're kind of just gonna be really, really zen and kind of trying to, I guess, maybe bury all these hatches before they really start to hang out and have fun and kind of turn up, you know. So anyway, so everybody's in the room, you know, they get in the rooms. Portia and Phaedra come in. Portia and Phaedra have a little sit down. I'm really appreciative of that. And when they first get there, and Phaedra does say that she's appreciative of Claudia's giving her the biggest room or whatnot, and Portia asked Phaedra, you know, how she feel about being around Kenya and Cynthia or whatever, and she was just like, Phaedra's like, you know, she don't really have time for it, whatever. Y'all already know Phaedra's the fakest bitch. Phaedra has come off so fake this season till I just don't even know what to say about Phaedra, so I'm not going to even say much about Phaedra. Then they show where Claudia, Cynthia, and Kenya are actually having a sit down when they first get there, and they just talking about how they glad Nene's not here, which they always bring up fucking Nene in their scenes, and I wish they would stop, but it's almost over now, so it is what it is. But they're just talking about how glad she's not there. So so then Phaedra and Portia start going, you know, talking about, you know, how they just want to kind of not be arguing with everybody on this trip, and they just want everything to be kind of chill and whatnot, and they think the talk with Dr. Jeff could have helped the situation. So it looks like these are, like I said, these are ladies that stayed at the thing. Besides Phaedra, they stayed with Dr. Jeff to talk, you know, so I feel like they are going to be able to work it out. Claudia and the ladies in the other room, you know, they just having fun, and Claudia did this Portia walk where she had down packed, this stanky leg walk Portia liked to do. It was funny, it was cute. So then like I said, they get there like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's like so big time difference. So it's like they wake up at 3, everybody's kind of getting dressed to get ready to do something for the day that evening, you know, because like I said, they didn't get to at 6. So Claudia and Phaedra have this conversation. Claudia invites Phaedra for breakfast. So Phaedra comes over, and she's kind of just telling her that, you know, she didn't sleep much, you know, but you know, she's good and she's glad she invited her to breakfast or whatever. So they go down and sit down to eat, and Claudia just start opening up to Phaedra, just to kind of break the ice, you know, and invited her over. So, you know, because she wants Phaedra to know that she's not being set up. You know, this is not a setup. I really want to have fun. I really want to bond. You know, I really want to get past whatever we had or whatever it is going on, you know, and let's do this. So they sit down and talk, but Claudia brings up, you know, her divorce and annulment and how short it was and how it affected her family and his family and all of this stuff and how it affected her. And, you know, she asked Phaedra, you know, how did her situation, how is it affecting her or something like that. And Phaedra was like, I'm not really going to discuss that with you. Claudia should have known Phaedra wasn't going to say shit, because Phaedra is a shady ass bitch and don't want nobody to know that kind of stuff about her, because they might have a little bit too much information. So she was just trying to play it off like, you know, really she's just not a talkative person and da 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 da. Not on TV she ain't, but I'm sure that bitch just got somebody outside this camera. But whatever. So, you know, Claudia just like, you know, I understand, I get it, you know, I'm not really trying to pry. And Phaedra's like, I know, you know, she just like, she was just saying, you know, it's not easy. And she did give up a little information about Aiden and how Aiden is feeling, her oldest, she said, how he's taking it and all this stuff. And she kind of tried to get emotional, but it was all fake. it just is not genuine, Phaedra. You know, I want to say that you're genuine, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. None of these tears. I really ain't buying it. Like, I need you to have a hard, snotty nose cry in order for me to buy it, Phaedra. And that's just me. That's just my opinion. And I don't have any notes, by the way, so I'm just kind of going off the top of my dome, as well as it's kind of playing in the background. But because I can't just let the whole thing kind of play out like that. I gotta fast forward and kind of think back what happened in the scene and whatnot. Okay, so I got a good scene coming up, and this is Kandi and Phaedra's scene. Okay, this was my favorite scene of the show. Cause first of all, okay, so Kandi and Phaedra, Kandi basically is like, you know, since they went to Dr. Jeff, you know, before her and Phaedra had a talk, she thought they was all good. When they get to Dr. Jeff, they still talking to her about her and Phaedra's issues. So now I gotta have another sit down with Phaedra, because obviously it's something else being said, which, by the way, was some bullshit, Phaedra. If you talking the shit about her after y'all have a conversation, then you wrong. So they go to have like spa pedicures, which looks so nice, y'all. It looks so nice. They love pedicures and the little setup. Oh my god, it just looks so gorgeous and nice, and I just can't wait to experience that on my vacation. I'm just so ready. But anyway, so they go to this little spa thing, and they having a little pedicures, and they talking, and so Kandi is like, you know, we're gonna get to the bottom of what you saying to these bitches while basically I'm not around. So they're sitting down talking, and she was like, you know, she basically just break it down to it. So what are you saying to them, you know, when I'm not around about our situation? Because I thought it was good. So Phaedra, you know, she kind of, oh my god, she just brushing off. See, first of all, Kandi, I don't even know why you don't know she brushing you off. Like, if y'all been friends all this time, then you know she's not keeping it 100 with you. And you should have called her out on that, because she is definitely brushing off like it's nothing. Talking about, well, it's not nothing really that I said. You know, people might just be like, you know, calling and checking on me, and they be like, oh, you talked to Kandi? And she was like, you should be like, no, I ain't talked to her. Like, you ain't talked to Kandi? Like, that's your dog, that's your homegirl, you ain't talked to your Kandi? You know, basically being messy probably, or trying to instigate the situation and putting these thoughts into her motherfucking head. But she tells Kandi that this is what happened, this is how these girls might know that it's something going on, or feel that it's something going on, or sense that, because they haven't been talking. So that's how she's trying to play it. Like, they just sensing this. She say it's probably getting lost in translation, you know, because it ain't nothing that she really said to them. Like, you know, you just not there for me. But you have said that. And I hope Kandi getting your ass on the motherfucking reunion about that shit, because you have said that. You really have. Kandi need to go off on you. She need to go off on Portia. She need to go off on motherfucking Nene. She need to go off on, that's pretty much it. But Kandi need to really go in on you bitches, because all you bitches be talking shit behind her back in the confessional, and I feel like Kandi will come to you and tell you, even in her messy ways, or whatever y'all want to call it. But I just hate how Phaedra is treating their friendship. She fucked up for that. In any relationship. So she basically says that she fine with Kandi, and she just think they just was going through their little situation, and they probably just need a little engage more and spend more time or whatever. But she said that they got a strong friendship, and they can just really move past this. You know, it is what it is. So here go Kandi going talking about cracking her about motherfucking how Nene's supposed to be your friend. So basically some shit. You talking about the situation with Kenya. Hey, Nene just said some shit about your ass for real, and she has. And of course, bravo, shady ass. Rewind that shit and play that shit back. You've been called the head doctor. You done been called you can't win when you're dirty for calling her folks. She don't know your ass. So then Kandi crack her again about how, cause Phaedra come out of her mouth and say, well, Nene's the homegirl from the hometown or whatever. Bitch, she act like she didn't even know you, bitch. She told the world she ain't know you 100 times on the season. When she got on the motherfucking reunion, she told them she ain't know you. She called your ass a head doctor, bitch. Like, really? Really, Phaedra? You are not to fuck with her, just like you are not you try not to fuck with Cynthia. So Kandi did ask her, like, are you and Cynthia gonna be able to pay? She was like, no. Girl, please. That's what she was talking about. She was saying, that, you know, if you and Nene can get past some shit, you and Cynthia can get past the shit. Like, and that's for real. Because Nene has dogged you out just as much or even more so than the other bitches that you claim you're not fucking with, Phaedra. So, shut the fuck up. Like, she talking about something, she feel like people can change. And Phaedra, Candy was just like, girl, please, honey, whatever. I'm just gonna let that go. I'm gonna let you have that. Because Phaedra had the stupid look on her face while she's sitting over there trying to defend the bullshit that Nene had been doing to her. Girl, you look stupid. So we know you stupid. Anyway, so where are we in the situation? Yeah, but I thought Candy did good by calling her out on that shit. Because you know what, Phaedra? You need to quit faking the funk like this bitch your motherfucking friend and she ain't. Y'all, it was so funny to see when they was doing yoga and that Candy ass fell asleep. Candy ass been eating the whole time. She eating on the airplane. They put the camera in her face. She closed that plate down. Don't get in my food. She eating on the plane. She eating at the goddamn somewhere else she was eating. Now this bitch probably full as hell going to do yoga. Tell me she ain't never did yoga. This and she barely doing the moves. They looking at her like, bitch, I thought you were flexible. Hell, you got the highest freak number. I thought you could do this, that, and the other. I thought you was flexible. It was so funny, and it was a cute little scene. The whole little yoga scene was cute, but it was so funny when Candy ass fell asleep on that goddamn yoga mat and was snoring. They literally doing moves, leaning to the side, pull your leg, whatever. They doing moves, and this bitch is laid flat in the same position, sleep. Y'all, it was the funniest thing ever. And I think Candy tweeted that her falling asleep during yoga was so funny, but I was hollering laughing at that fat ass girl. I ain't gonna even call her fat, cause she ain't fat. She actually has got a cute little thick shape, but it's just funny that her ass fell down asleep, right? By the way, I thought Candy hair was so damn pretty. I thought Phaedra's hair was so damn pretty, and it just looked so natural. I loved it. I love their natural hair. I mean, I love their hair. And, out here in the Philippines, I think their hair is really pretty and bouncy and just ooh, it's really pretty. So, what else happened, y'all, honey? But yeah, I thought that was just the funniest scene.
So try to bridge this gap because we can't keep going the way that.
Anyway, so then they talk about they get ready to go to this dinner, and Claudia and Demetria and Cynthia are sitting down having a discussion about, you know, how they would just love for things to be okay, and how, you know, how they just want to just kind of move forward, and they don't try to have the conversation tonight, and this and that. And so, you know, Claudia is just like, you know, this is, you know, basically I feel like Claudia feel like this is her trip. She want to try to make sure, y'all, my dog is over here on my damn light. Move! Shit. Anyway, hey, come on, come on. Zoe, y'all, this is Zoe. Say hi, Pooh. Say hi, Zoe. Zoe need a haircut, but this is Zoe. So anyway, so yeah, so they get ready to go to the dinner or whatnot. So they sit down talking at the dinner, and then so they start. Well, it first started off with, you know, just having an idle, regular conversation, and I'm trying to think who said something. Wait a minute, y'all. Oh, so they what's her name? Claudia was saying that, you know, this, like I said, this is a vegan place. This is no alcohol. So she brought in some alcohol or whatever. And I don't know if she said she brought some meat or not, some chicken. So they started talking about that. And so everybody arrived. Kenya arrived last, so she was late or whatever. So after everybody arrived, everybody is at this point is getting along. I mean, even when Kenya walked in, Portia even had a little smile on her face. You know, it was just all good at this point, right? So, I don't know who said what, but, let me just see. Hold up. Yeah, so, what's her name?